Brian Valdez, member of the graduating class of 2024, will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stacy Kimbrell, lower school, middle school division head, will give us the official invocation.
You may be seated. In honor of the diversity of our beliefs and faith traditions, I ask that we reflect together today in the spirit of gratitude. Let us reflect quietly on all the future holds for the class of 2024 and express thanks for all who have helped this year's graduates up to this point. Let us give thanks for the gift of intellect, the opportunity to learn, the goals which have been achieved, and for the support of our faculty, family, friends, and mentors. As we continue to reflect with gratitude, we ask that good fortune, safety, and the desire for perpetual learning be always with this graduating class. As we move forward, let us be filled with knowledge, dreams, and hopes for the future. Let us continue to learn from those around us, from the diversity, and from our world filled with compassion and gratitude.
Adrian Carr, President of the Student Council 2023-2024, will give the official welcome.
On behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, and the staff of the Winston School, it is my honor to welcome you to the 39th Baccalaureate ceremony, honoring the graduating class of 2024.
Mr. Chris Ames, Upper School Division Head, will now present to you the class of 2024 from the Winston School.
Thank you. Well, it has been a pleasure to get to know this class this year, and a pleasure to share all the achievements that you're going to hear about here. Eric Bardos. Eric has been a Winston student for 3 years. He's been a member of the soccer, tennis, and basketball teams. While at Winston, Eric received special honors for his athletic accomplishments, including Most Improved in Basketball, a 2-time Tennis MVP Award, 2-time Soccer MVP Award, and recently Eric placed as the regional champion during the spring tennis season. Eric credits his mother as the greatest influence upon his success during his high school career and would like to thank Ms. Lavecchia, Ms. Bassolini, and Mr. Cannell from the Winston faculty. Eric chose Benefits of Water Therapy as his senior capstone project thesis and plans to attend Tarleton State University upon graduation from Winston. Eric Bardos. Stephanie Campbell. Stephanie has been a Winston student since the 2nd grade, which distinguishes her with the longest tenure at Winston in the senior class. During her career at the school, she has participated in soccer, bowling, and golf programs. Stephanie was twice selected as the head of class during her time at Winston. When asked who has been the single largest influence upon her thus far, Stephanie named Parker Christ her best friend. She would also like to thank Mr. Connell from the Winston faculty. For her senior capstone project thesis, Stephanie chose Evolution LGBTQ Representation in Television. Stephanie is planning a gap year following graduation. Stephanie Campbell. Julius Campos. Julius came to the Winston School at the start of his junior year. He was honored with the Excellence in Mathematics Award while at the school and received special recognition for placing second in a figure skating competition. Julius has named his parents as the most positive influencer upon him and would like to thank Mr. Cornell from the Winston faculty. For his senior capstone project, Julius chose Tas Tepler and traveled to Turkey to complete his research. Julius plans to attend St. Mary's College in California. Julius Campos. Adrian Carr. Adrian, or AJ, has been a Winston student since the 5th grade. During her long tenure, Adrian has been a member of the volleyball team, the World Cultures Academy, the National Honor Society, and the Leadership Academy, serving as secretary and later president of the latter. She has received multiple honors, including Most Improved for Volleyball, Volleyball Captain, Golden Eagle Scholar Award, Honorable Recognition for Chemistry and Spanish, and the Certificate of Achievement in 2D Art for 2 years in a row. Adrian credits her family, friends, and teachers as the greatest influence upon her and would like to thank Mr. Cornell from the Winston faculty. Her senior capstone project focused on fidget toys. She'll be attending Texas Tech University after graduation from Winston. AJ Carr. Sorry, Adrian. Kaysen Cornell. Kaysen enrolled in Winston during his freshman year. He has been a member of the National Honor Society and was awarded honors in choir, 2D art, and 3D art. In addition, Kaysen was recognized for academic excellence in science and English. Kaysen has identified his grandfather, Pops, as having the most positive influence upon him and credits his grandfather for showing him what it means to be a kind person. Kaysen would also like to thank Dr. Gillespie from the Winston faculty, specifically for pushing him to not give up on something he loves. Kaysen chose body dysmorphia as his senior capstone thesis and plans to attend Abilene Christian University after graduation. Kaysen Cornell. Austin Dodson. Austin arrived at the Winston School at the start of his junior year. While at the school, Austin participated in the 2D Art Academy and Leadership Academy. He was recognized with membership in the National Art Honor Society and was named National Art Honor Society President. Austin credits his co-worker Erica as being the most positive influence upon him and would like to thank Ms. LaVecchia from the Winston faculty. Austin chose neurology as his senior capstone project thesis and plans a gap semester following graduation. Austin Dodson. Jude McGuire. Jude has been a Winston student since his junior year. During his time at the school, Jude participated in varsity tennis and track. He was awarded special recognition in 3D art, photography, and digital media. Jude was a team captain for the wrestling program and recognized as Wrestler of the Year. He has identified his mother as the single most positive influence upon him and would like to thank Mr. Hurley from the Winston faculty. Jude chose the benefits of public art as his senior capstone project thesis and is planning a gap year followed by United Flight School after graduation. Jude McGuire. Mario Melendez. Mario has been a Winston student since his junior year. While at the school, Mario has played on the soccer and basketball teams, participated in the upper school band, and has served as the Winston School mascot. Mario received the Best Ensemble Actor Award and was also recognized with the Perseverance Award. Outside of Winston, Mario has received awards for his participation in chess and the National Geographic Bee. Mario has identified Mr. Rivero as the largest positive influence upon him, saying that Mr. Rivero has helped him become a better student and person. He would also like to thank Mr. Schrader for his kind advice, Ms. LaVecchia for her support this year, and Mr. Dios, Coach Saunders, and Ms. Olson for being great teachers and mentors. Mario chose recycling and the environment as his senior project capstone thesis and is formulating plans for North Central Texas College after graduation. Mario Melendez. Morgan Mincer. Morgan arrived on the Winston campus during 3rd grade. During her time at Winston, Morgan participated in varsity volleyball and varsity tennis. She was recognized with membership in the National Beta Club, the National Arts Honor Society, and the National Honor Society. Morgan has credited her mother and father as the greatest positive influence upon her thus far and would like to thank Mr. Cornell from the Winston faculty. Morgan chose Disability in an Urban Environment as her senior capstone project thesis and plans to attend the University of Arkansas after graduation. Morgan Mintzer. Akash Nair. Akash has been a Winston student since the 8th grade. He has participated in the musical theater group, the Winston choir and band programs, and has been a member of the Service Learning Academy. Akash was recognized with awards in geography, world history, U.S. history, and mathematics. In addition, Akash has been awarded the Franz Liszt Merit Scholarship, the Melville Vanderspey Memorial Scholarship, honorable mention in the Collin County Young Artist Competition, first place in the North Texas Young Artist Piano Competition, and was granted a black belt in Taekwondo. Akash has identified his parents as the most positive influence upon him and would like to thank Mr. Dios and Ms. Bossellini from the Winston faculty. Akash chose Music and the Brain as his senior capstone project thesis and plans to attend Southern Methodist University after graduation. Akash. Andrew Osborne. Andrew arrived at Winston at the start of his freshman year. While a Winston student, Andrew has been very active in the drama program, including starring roles in both productions this season. Andrew is a member of the International Thespian Society and has identified his parents as the most positive influence upon him. He would like to thank Mr. Cornell from the Winston faculty. Andrew chose Preparing to Act as his thesis for the senior capstone project and plans to attend the University of North Texas after graduation. Andrew Osborne. Penelope Paredes. Penelope began her career at the Winston School in 8th grade. During her tenure at Winston, Penelope has participated in tennis, volleyball, student government, leadership academy, and the Solar Academy. Penelope has been recognized for her efforts with a Performance Award in English and Spanish, the Harvard Book Award, and the Student Athlete Award. Penelope is also a member of the National Beta Club and the National Honor Society. Outside of her work at Winston, Penelope has been recognized by the College Board National Hispanic Program, the National Collegiate Honor Society from Dallas College, and was granted a summer 2024 product development paid internship at Buff City Soap. Penelope credits Taylor Swift as having the most positive influence upon her and would like to thank Ms. LaVecchia from the Winston School faculty. Penelope chose sexism and internalized misogyny as her senior capstone project thesis and plans to attend the University of Texas at Austin. Penelope Paredes. Justin Sawyer. Justin arrived at the Winston School during his sophomore year. During his time at Winston, Justin participated in the basketball, soccer, and track programs. For his athletic efforts, Justin was named Most Improved Player in Soccer, was placed on the second team All-District, and subsequently the first team All-District for basketball. Academically, Justin has been honored with a Best in Geometry Award and the 3D Art Award. Justin has identified his mother as the most important influence on him thus far, stating his mother is the hardest working person he knows and has always been his biggest supporter. Justin would also like to thank Mr. Cornell and Ms. LaVecchia from the Winston faculty. Justin chose art therapy as his senior capstone project thesis and plans to attend Austin College after graduation. Justin Sawyer. Juliet Taranja. Juliet joined Winston for her senior year. She has been active at a very high level in gymnastics and cheer. Juliet has been recognized by both the National Honor Society and the National Junior Honor Society. She credits her parents for the most influential support she has received and would like to thank Mr. Dios from the Winston faculty. Juliet's senior capstone project thesis focused on the pandemic's effect on teenagers, and she plans to attend Tarleton State University. Juliet Taranja. Brian Valdez. Brian's first year at the Winston School was the 5th grade. He has participated in soccer, basketball, track and cross country, and football. While at Winston, Brian received the Team Captain Award in soccer and track, and the Most Improved Award in track and cross country and basketball. Outside of Winston, Brian has 2 soccer championships on his resume. He's identified his parents as the greatest positive influence upon him, and would like to thank Mr. Cornell from the Winston faculty. Brian chose athletes' mental health as his senior capstone project thesis and will attend Texas Tech University. Brian Valdez. I'd like to ask the entire class of 2024 to stand, turn around, and let's give them a round of applause.
Okay, that's enough. Sit down. Well done. Now we will hear a piece of special music performed by a costumier by Robert Schuleman. I'm going to try this. Fantistilak Op 12. Adrian Carr and Kason Cornell will now speak on what Winston has meant to me, a student perspective.
I hope you can hear me. It's a bit tall for me. Good afternoon, Winston family. My name is Adrian Carr, but I'm more known as AJ among my teachers and my friends. The time I've spent at Winston has been very effective, and it's given me many memories that I will never forget. I find it hard to believe that after attending 7 years at Winston, I'm going to be graduating. But back then, I thought it was going to take forever since I was only in 5th grade. I've heard many of my friends this year start off saying that senior year would take a long time to come and finish. I foolishly believe the same thing, but as you can see, graduation is right around the corner. So sadly, we are graduating, but there are memories that I do want to remember and a few that I do want to mention. The first one would be when my consumer math class would put all of the calculators on Eric's desk whenever he came into class. And the other one was when Andrew and Kason sang it, I Want It That Way to Sham and his crew on Valentine's Day. I've talked about my friends and my memories at Winston, but I also do want to talk about the teachers. The teachers here are amazing. They take time to get to know each other and they grow strong bonds with us. The teachers have spent a lot of time with us, resulting in very little patience with the seniors since we have gotten senioritis and we have no motivation to do anything else but graduate. But fortunately, their lack of patience is now going to be falling onto the upcoming seniors. I consider that a big win. But I know very well that the teachers care about us very much. And although we do test their patience, that they still like our presence in our conversations, although they can be a bit weird, like how we mentioned about the immortal snail in our English class. The teachers at Winston are one of a kind, and always and will forever will be. Each senior this year is getting ready to go into college for many reasons. I know a lot of the same reasons for them is that they are ready to be out of here. But I see each senior is prepared to go out and put themselves in the adult world. And each of them has potential as well into making a difference in our community. So I know we all have goals that we can achieve. So I want each senior to be able to push themselves and be a best version of themselves in the future. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kason. When I was coming from middle school, I was definitely nervous, as one would be. And it was around the year of COVID, so everything was online and virtual. And we had to try to learn that way, which I got a vibe of the teachers and the students there, and I thought, this seems pretty good. Then we started in person, with the mask, and I was nervous all over again. And I was like, what if there are like the popular kids and the losers and this and that? And Winston was not at all like that. It was very, very friendly. The teachers were very patient, sometime, obviously. And we're just there to help. One thing I think that Winston really helped me with is learning to ask for help. Before I would just, sit there in confusion, have no idea what I'm supposed to be doing, but wait till a teacher came over and said, "Do you need help?" I'm like, kind of. Then I learned, like, I got to get out of this. And I started asking for that help. I started advocating for myself, which is something I don't think I would have done without the help of the teachers here. Another thing that I love is they would let me stay after school to finish a test, retake a test, with an assignment I didn't understand. Anything that you were confused on, they were willing to help you with. So I was very glad to have their support in it. I mean, Mr. Dios made physics make sense. So I was like, oh, Dr. G helped me learn how to do my art even better than I did before. Miss Lavecchia always being like, if you need help reading, I will read it for you, or I'll help you figure this out. And it was just amazing, and I loved it. Every teacher had me feeling like I could go to them when I needed them. I want to do a very special thank you to my mother for letting me come to this school, because without her saying, hey, you can come here, I don't think I would be able to. Even though, yet Winston is definitely a little bit of an expensive school, God found a way to let me come here. I want to thank the faculty, from the teachers, the nurse, the ladies at the front desk. Y'all have all had an impact in my life, and I want to thank you. I want to thank Miss Evans for running this ship so smoothly and just being an amazing, great principal through all of it. Everyone here, I hope that your student or children have come to, back to you and said, oh, we got to do this, we got to do this, having good memories, good times at school. The friends I've made here, I will never, ever forget them. The teachers here, I will never forget the impact that y'all have done. And I just want to do a very special thank you to everyone who has been a part of this. Anyone who comes to Winston, I hope, has fun learning and exploring new interests and anything you want. And the seniors leaving, I hope that all of you have fond memories the way I do. So thank you.
Ms. Mary Halliburton and Ms. Beth Osborne, parents of Andrew, and Mr. and Mrs. Akash, parents of, except Mr. and Mrs. Nair, parents of Akash, will now speak on what Winston has meant to me, a parent's perspective. You can all come out.
Good afternoon. My name is Beth Osborne, and this is Mary Halliburton, and we're Andrew's parents, and are happy to be here this afternoon to share our story. When Miss Evans called and asked if we'd be interested in sharing what Winston has meant to us, I couldn't help but reflect on the path that led us here. Every time we've spoken with other parents here at Winston, the conversation almost always morphs into a discussion, not so much about a path, but more of a journey. Because as a parent, when you realize that your child needs something different, something outside of a traditional public school education, and those reasons vary for each of us, you truly begin a journey of trying to navigate a world outside of your own expertise. And frankly, it can be overwhelming. We soon realized that the journey of 1,000 miles did in fact begin with one small step. We hope to find a soft place to land, a place where differences are accepted and celebrated, where people are allowed the freedom and space to figure out who they are, and a place where there's a genuine desire to find the talent and the gift of each person and help bring that forward. And that's what we found at Winston. The students here bring so many different talents and are exceptionally gifted in so many unique and special ways. Just look at this graduating class. There's a gifted concert pianist who just performed for us. We have artists, we have jewelry makers, we have sculptors, photographers, actors, and athletes, all contributing their gifts. And then with Winston's diverse team of teachers and incredible resumes with real world experience, they're able to take these individual talents and create an environment that makes learning interesting and engaging. And perhaps most importantly, recognizes that learning is more than what's between the pages of a book. It's about the collective experience. They certainly teach the ABCs, but they also create opportunities for the kids to find their passion. Our son Andrew found his voice and his passion here. We never would have thought that the shy young boy who wouldn't look at you in the eyes and wouldn't talk to people he didn't know would be on stage performing in plays, singing, and announcing at games. But there were teachers here at Winston that saw something in him. They supported him and they encouraged him. He found several teachers, or should I say kindred spirits, who had the same passion for movies, actors, acting, and photography. And that helped him find and have the confidence to dream of bigger things. And I know his life has been changed because of that. As I talk about the journey, I'll tell you, we don't live close. We live in Highland Village, which is approximately 26.6 miles from Winston. That would be 4 McDonald's, 5 Chick-fil-A's, and 1 whiskey cake away from Winston. We recently calculated as parents, we have spent 5,040 hours on the road and put more than 133,000 miles on the cars. And we have spent as much money on tolls, tires, and Chick-fil-A as we have tuition. But as we stand here today, we can say that it was worth every single hour and every single mile, because we knew that Andrew was going somewhere that was going to help make him the best version of himself. That in a world that oftentimes wants people to be in a box and coloring within the lines, that he was going to a school that respected his and others' differences, and that they had a singular goal of ensuring that he had a solid foundation in which to launch. As I and we look back on the journey and the miles invested in his education, I want to share with you what Winston meant for me personally. I spent more than 1,200 hours with my son, one-on-one. And in those hours commuting, we saw ladders, cars, and people thrown all around the freeway. But we also sang, we listened to music and Smosh, and late night talk show host on replay. But the best part was we talked. And sometimes we didn't, as I'm sure many of you can appreciate. And that was okay too. But in the end, what an incredible gift it was. It was the gift of time. We wouldn't take back 1 minute of this experience and time at Winston. And we thank the teachers and the administration and all the people here who have been such an important part of getting Andrew and us to this day. It does, in fact, take a village, and we are happy we found our village, and we thank you for that.
In the last few minutes, my respect for this row of students has grown exponentially, because if any of you had been here last month to watch each of them make amazing presentations of their senior projects, this one's going to be a letdown, because I didn't have Mr. Dios with whom I could rehearse 70 times maybe, or I did not have Ms. Levick here sit here and give me that last minute talk. So yeah, here we are. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sri Devi, and my husband here, Ranjit. We are parents of Akash Nair. Ms. Evans, thank you for asking us to speak here. It's an honor. I will start with the beginning of Akash at Winston here. When Akash was in 7th grade, we realized that he needed a school that was small, that would work with his challenges, but also see his strengths beneath all that. And we made a small list of schools. Winston was one of them, but definitely not on the top of that list. We had our thoughts were, we don't know anybody who goes to Winston. It's too far, it's too expensive. And so we did not start with sending his evaluation to Winston. We went to some other schools. And at one of those schools, Akash was called in by the head of school. She talked to him for a few minutes and asked him to go out, and then she asked us in. And she said, not only is Akash not a fit for our school, he may not be a fit for any school. And as parents, we were devastated. And we asked each other, is that true? But we did not give up. we called up Winston. We spoke to the diagnostician at that time and sent his evaluation to her. She called me a couple of days later and she said, well, his scores are not a fit for the Winston profile, but these are numbers. We want to see the child. And so Akash came in, he was here for a 3-day visit. And on day 2, she called me and said, we would like to offer a spot for him here. It was, at the time, I did not know that, but it was one of the most important phone calls that we had received at the time, and certainly one of the happiest. Akash came in here and in 8th grade, and we were worried because he was also homeschooled for 3 years before he came in here. But I remember on the night of parent orientation in 8th grade, we came in here and Mr. T talked to us, and we realized he was in the right place. Now, that thing that the diagnostician said about these are numbers, but we want to see the child, that has been the common thread of every interaction we have had with teachers, with administrative staff, with support staff, with students and parents in this community. And for that, we are so grateful. Beth rightly said it takes a village. And in this village, each one of you teachers have played different roles, all of which have been so critical to Akash's confidence. Whether it was the middle school science teacher taking time at the end of the day to explain science to Akash in so many different ways, or it was the English teacher taking many hours out of her day to help him write an essay, or the teacher for digital media and theater, which definitely were way outside his comfort zone. They not only did they help Akash, but they also had very high expectations of him, which is not a given for children like ours. We had instances of teachers who stood next to him while he made phone calls to colleges, navigating his way through housing applications. We've had a teacher, we have had teachers search for music and purchase music for events and make sure that his suit was crease-free before he went to events. We have had teachers after school help with college applications while eating free pizza. And, listen to him rehearse, I don't know how many times, for his senior project, and stand with him on stage while he battled nerves right before presentation. All of this is to say that every one of you teachers have pushed and pulled him or put your hand over his shoulder while he somehow got across the finish line each time. And for that, we are so grateful. As parents of children with unique needs, we are always plagued with self-doubt. Did we make the right decision? What if we had chosen that other decision? That's the highlight of special needs parenting, I must say. Self-doubt and guilt, right? Well, this month, as a friend of mine had texted me a few days back on Mother's Day, she was saying, well, this has been an important year for you, Mom. How are you feeling? And I said, mostly grateful that we are here, that we were here. And what if Akash did not have the opportunity to be at Winston? I shudder to think where we would be in May of his senior year. I'm certain that it wouldn't have been at the place that he is in now. The class of 2024 at Winston, you are a group that understands each other's differences, their quirks, and you accept each other so well. I can't think of too many places where conversation starters would be like, who else apart from me has autism? Or do any of you like therapy? I don't like it. That is not a given in most groups. But no one here thought it was out of the ordinary, right? Every one of you had a reason to come to the school, but please know that as a group, this school is a wonderful place because of you. You are the reason that this is a safe space for all of you to come each day. As parents, our hope is that you continue to be the amazing people you are and you find a group of people who support and accept you, like your friends here at Winston. Our hope is that you find a Winston in every chapter of your life. Thank you.
Each year, the members of the graduating class pick one faculty member to give the senior address. This year, in their infinite wisdom, they picked Miss Caroline Bassolini.
Good afternoon, faculty, staff, families, and most importantly, the class of 2024. My name is Caroline Bassolini, and I am honored to have been chosen by the class to address you all. When Mr. Cornell came to me a few weeks ago and asked if he could speak to me in private, my anxiety level jumped through the roof. I thought, what did I do? Am I in trouble? You see, Mr. Cornell reminds me a lot of my history and social studies teachers I had in high school. History and I did not get along very well back then. A knot formed in my stomach and my heart started racing. Thankfully, he wasn't coming to tell me an essay on World War II was unacceptable or that I had failed another history test. He came to share the exciting news that I was chosen by you all to speak at Baccalaureate. My reaction was, really? Me? Are you sure? So, here it goes. Since the history of Baccalaureate wasn't covered in my history classes, or maybe it was that I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, let me enlighten you about what this very hard to spell word means. According to Google, the baccalaureate service is believed to have originated at Oxford University in 1432, when each bachelor was required to deliver a sermon in Latin as part of his academic exercise. I guess you're all lucky that you're not Oxford bachelors and we don't offer Latin here at Winston, as that would mean in order to graduate, each of you would be doing a speech in Latin. The little Latin I know I learned from the Lion King, ixnay on the Upidstay. So it looks like we're all off the hook for having to give a speech in Latin. As you know, things evolve. Thankfully, education is no longer just for bachelors. Girls, I guess technically bachelorettes, are now allowed to go to school and be educated alongside boys, and the bachelors and bachelorettes I know are competing for a final rose at the rose ceremony on TV. But I digress. Traditions change, and thankfully Winston Baccalaureate is now a ceremony which is held a few days before graduation. It is meant to be a more intimate time of reflection prior to the larger, louder rite of passage that is commencement. After accepting the invitation to speak, I immediately did what you all would do. I went right to my computer and scoured the AI websites like ChatGPT and Gemini, and I typed in my prompt, "Write me a baccalaureate speech for students at Winston." That's not cheating, is it? This is what it came up with. As we stand here today on the cusp of this momentous occasion, it's impossible not to reflect on the journey you, the graduating class, have taken. You've walked these halls, wrestled with complex equations, delved into the depths of literature, and explored the wonders of science, all under the nurturing guidance of the Winston School. On and on it went, using SAT words right out of a Quizlet vocabulary quiz. It just couldn't convey what I was wanting to say. So then I thought, let me see what it comes up with if I add a person's name to the prompt. I typed, "Write me a speech about Eric Bartos," and I anxiously awaited for the response. Much to my chagrin, all I got was
Unfortunately, I can't write a complete speech about Eric Bardos without more information. However, I can give you a template to get you started, with sections you can fill in based on what you know about Eric.
So I tried it again with Juliet's name.
Unfortunately, I can't write a complete speech about Juliet Turincio without more information. However, I can give you a template to get you started, with sections you can fill in based on what you know about Juliet Turincio.
So it was left up to me. There was no easy way out of it. I just had to use my own brain to write this speech. And at the end of the school year, that's quite a challenge. Oh, sure, I could have used the AI version, but ChatGPT just doesn't capture the feelings and emotions that we have for all of you. AI didn't accompany you to the prom. It didn't chaperone you at the ISAS Arts Festival. It didn't get to see your senior project presentations. Didn't get to hear your recitals. It didn't get to spectate at your sporting events, attend your concerts, explore your artworks on display, and it sure as heck did not lead the musical rehearsals. I'll take credit for that. AI doesn't know you like we know you. We can tell AI that Justin, Eric, and Brian all love to play basketball, or that Jude has a great talent in 3D art. We can tell AI that Andrew's dream is to be an actor, but only Andrew can make it true. AI spits out what a human tells it. Only you get to write the next chapter of your lives. AI did not tear up with pride during your senior project presentations like your parents and your teachers did. Speaking for the faculty at Winston, we know you, we see you, and we care about you. We share your excitement about your hopes and dreams and are bursting with pride to see your successes. The Winston class of 2024 isn't just defined by academic achievements, though there have been many, from perfect scores and college acceptances to groundbreaking senior projects. You are a tapestry woven with diverse talents, passions, and personalities. Those of us who have watched you excel here at Winston have seen the many things that make the class of 2024 so special. AI has not. For example, AI doesn't know that AJ and Kaysen, who wears some pretty stylish cowboy boots, by the way, both have great voices and had the courage to perform at Coffee House. I bet AI doesn't know why I get to call Mario Giuseppe. I'll let you in on a little secret. When I asked him, he told me he only lets special people call him Giuseppe. Only some of us know about Penelope's hidden singing talent and how Austin makes working a job and keeping up with his school obligations seem effortless. Now, I know that your senior projects caused you all a lot of stress and anxiety this past year, but your projects were so impressive. From topics advocating for LGBTQ rights, improving communities for those who have a disability, and learning how music affects the brain. My goodness, Julius even went to Turkey to research his topic. The list goes on and on. They were all amazing. We've witnessed your artistic spirit explode at the ISAS Arts Festival, on stage during the spring musical, your competitive drive on the athletic fields, and your intellectual curiosity during spirited classroom debates. We have solved Wordle and made connections, and you've championed causes you believe in and organized events that have brought us together. The world awaits, class of 2024, a world that needs your unique blend of intellect, creativity, and compassion. Don't be afraid to challenge the status quo, push boundaries, and advocate for what you believe. Remember the lessons learned here at Winston, the power of critical thinking, the importance of collaboration, and the value of lifelong learning. I hope you feel accomplishment for your perseverance in the face of challenges, for learning how to self-advocate for what you need, and that you take pride in the superpowers that make you uniquely you. Go and make your mark on the world. We, the Winston community, stand behind you, cheering every step of the way. As you embark on this next chapter, I hope looking back on memories made at Winston make you smile, like when Mr. Cornell would blow his whistle inside the lunchroom when he had lunch duty. Don't forget the sound of Dr. Gillespie's joyous laugh as you walk through the hallways, or Miss Evans' illuminating smile. Take with you the unwavering support of your teachers, the love of your families, and the cherished moments within these walls. Treasure your memories of homecoming, track meets, solar car competitions, concerts, basketball games, friends, and laughter. These shared experiences have forged an unbreakable bond, a Winston family you'll carry with you wherever life takes you. Congratulations and best wishes for a future as bright and limitless as your potential. The Winston family planted the seeds and nurtured the soil. Now it's time for each of you to grow into whatever you want to be. Your story is not yet written, and only you will determine the next chapter. When your story is complete and you've accomplished amazing things, maybe then AI can write the speech for me. But at this moment, AI can't do that. Congratulations.
Following our benediction, which will be given by Mr. Will Jennings, there will be a reception honoring the graduating class of 2024 out in the alcove. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Cornell. Class, if there's ever a week to stop and smell the roses, this is that week. Spend time together, enjoy your moments as you go throughout the week. As we recognize the gifts of our students today and prepare for this week and celebrate these students as they prepare to walk across the stage and receive their diplomas, starting a brand new chapter in their life, let us reflect in gratitude for the many blessings that have made this moment real and full. In gratitude, we celebrate our families and the many who have sacrificed and worked to see you to this special and hopeful moment. In gratitude, we cherish all the dedicated faculty, the administration, the staff at the Winston School who have cared for, crafted, challenged, and supported you along your way. In gratitude, we pray for you, these students who have taught us so much about friendship, collaboration, humor, and sharing, and shared that gift with all their peers at the Winston School. World, get ready. We celebrate the gift of difference, of creativity, of imagination, and of new challenges and obstacles to overcome, and supporting hands to help us and you along the way when we need it. As we look to the next chapter of your life, I hope them to enliven the hope in the world and to celebrate difference and to seek the new and challenging in all that you do and as you prepare for the next exciting chapter. Thank you.